Friday night, Simon, over in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, we saw a great fight. And I'm not talking about AJ, and I'm not talking about Joseph Parker. We saw the British featherweight boxer Nick Ball go in against the highly talented Rey Vargas
and win
from Mexico, and in the eyes of many, win that fight. But what did the judges do? They scored it 116-110 to Ball, 114-112 to Vargas, 113-113, with the fight ending in a split decision draw. What did Nick do? He had to take it in the chin, board a flight and come back, and he joins us live this lunchtime. Nick Ball, good afternoon. Before we go anywhere, Nick, congratulations, because you put up one heck of a fight that night and you deserve enormous praise. How do we find you this lunchtime?
Yeah, all good. It's one of those things, innit? It's boxing. Just on to the next. It is what it is, yeah. You can't sit around and sulk about it. But yeah, it is. It's frustrating, but just one of them things. It's done now.
Nick, how did you feel at that moment when the announcement was made that the fight you clearly thought you'd won was drawn?
Didn't really know. Yeah, how to feel. To be honest, it was a mad situation. Just gutted. I was gutted and frustrated. Yeah.
I mean, Simon, again, not for the first time, big question marks about the judging system.
Absolutely. I mean, Nick is managing to control his probably irritation. Frank went into the ring afterwards and was irritated and has got to do his job and demand that there's a rematch to this fight, because Nick Ball doesn't get the attention he should get. If you look at his record is very significant. He's gone over there. He's fought a two-time world champion. He's beaten him. First half of the fight was challenging for Nick. Second half of the fight was convincing. He drops him twice, and there's a debate about the first one, but both of them have been scored. It is difficult. I don't agree with the scoring that Nick won the fight, 116-110, but he most certainly won that fight, and he must be given a rematch. And some of the nonsense that was coming out from Vargas after the fight about going into Nick's backyard, well, Nick's backyard isn't bloody Riyadh, right? His backyard is Liverpool.
Yeah.
So this kid is a featherweight, in my view, should be the WBC featherweight champion of the world. He's got other opportunities that are going to come up, potentially with Ray Ford. But you've got to be strong, Nick, because ultimately you've got to push Frank to make sure that this rematch happens, because there's no doubt in my mind that you won that fight, and there's no doubt in my mind that you need to be getting a bit more media attention, because your record, your performances, and the level that you're operating at are at the highest level.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's the only option in it. Stay strong and stay focused, and I just know that, like, no matter what happened, obviously it happened. It's devastating and that, but it can't stop what's coming. I always know I'm going to be world champion. Just a little.
Did you get any indication, Nick, between the moment that the fight finished and the judges were handing in their cards, did you get a whiff that this wasn't going to be your night, or did you think no, I've done my job, I've dominated the second half of the fight, I've dropped him twice, because he was out on his feet, Vargas, at the end, I've got it?
Yeah.
Or did you get a whiff that maybe, maybe?
Yeah, as it dragged on, I got a sense that something sussy was happening. I see in Frank's face as well. He come over, he was shaking his head, so I knew something was happening, and then that happened, didn't it? And then
it must be a dreadful feeling, that, though, Nick. I mean, did it feel like a defeat in that sense?
It does.
Yeah,
It feels like I've been beat. Yeah, I've got no belt, and no one wants to see a draw, do they? A draw on your record as well. It's a bit.
What's Frank said to you, Nick? What's Frank said to you? Has he said, "Relax, son, I'm going to get you a rematch"? What do you think is the likely outcome to be?
Yeah, he said I should be world champion, and he thinks he can try and get the rematch, but I don't really know. I don't think that Vargas he'd want to take it. I'm not too sure. No, he'd have to be getting paid well for him to take it. So I'm not too sure. I'll probably find out this week. Later on in this week, I think I'll find out more. But hopefully he takes it and get another shot.
Do you think? I mean, there was talk of you, if you beat Vargas, fighting Ray Ford next in the 5v5 situation. Is that likely to happen next, Nick? Or are you setting your mind on, I must have this rematch because the world title is what I'm after?
Yeah, well, Ray Ford's also got a world title.
Of course, yes, yeah.
I'm open to that as well, and all eyes will be on that 5v5, and my name's getting mentioned in in that as well. Everyone's been saying Nick should be on that. So yeah, I'm open to that as well. Yeah.
You were absolutely brilliant, Nick, I have to say. I mean, there was a big height difference between yourself and Vargas, and it didn't put you off one bit. You were pursuing him round the ring. You were determined to try and finish him off. It was such a brave, gutsy performance. But I'll put this to you, and in all seriousness, I'll ask you, do you still have faith in boxing's judging system?
I can't really say. It's a mess, innit? It is a mess, but yeah.
Be honest with me, Nick. I mean, do you still have faith? The next time you pull on the gloves and you go in the ring, are you confident it will be judged properly and fairly?
Don't really know, and I don't think it really it ever has, to be honest. You can't as a boxer getting in the ring to fight. You can't really think too much into that. You've just got to stay focused on beating the opponent and doing enough. And to be honest, it weren't even my best performance, and I still thought I'd done enough. I still thought I'd done enough on the night. So yeah, it is a bit of a joke to judge him, but
my God,
as
Simon,
the boxer getting in,
Nick says it wasn't even his best performance. It looked absolutely
it was difficult for him because it was
brilliant.
difficult. The first half of the fight was difficult. The second half of the fight, he found his range and got his feet into. You got your feet into range, didn't you? You got your feet moving in the right direction. What have you got any feedback from the WBC?
Yeah, he's not happy. The main man, he's
Suleiman.
not happy with it.
Suleiman.
Yeah, he put a he put a post out, and he's not happy with it. He's gonna look into it more, and I think I'll still be keeping my number one spot, like the mandatory.
Good.
Yeah. So
what did you make of Vargas? Was he? I mean, I felt that I think if you fight him again, you'll knock him out. Because you now know what you're fighting, and you know the difference of the second half fight against the first half. But what did you make of Vargas? Because to me, you were far better than he was at certain stages of the fight, and I think that next time round, as I say, you'll knock him out.
Yeah, definitely. I think the same. But what I made of him, like as outside looking in, and I've watched the fight back this morning with the lads in the gym and Paul, but I didn't think. You'd think I was the champion in there, to be honest. The way he was acting, he wasn't acting like a world champion. He was throwing his self on the floor, running on the back foot, complaining to the ref, spat his gum shield out. Yeah, he wasn't acting like a world champion. And it's too Mexican the way they say about these Mexicans. He didn't stand and fight. Obviously, everyone's got their own way of winning, but I feel like he was running scared. Yeah.
Well, Nick, let's hope you get the rematch that you so thoroughly deserve, and we will support you here. Simon's into his boxing in a big way, and we cover it in a big way. We will get right behind you and support you. Nick, here's the important question: Liverpool or Everton?
Liverpool.
There you go. I had to ask it. Lovely meeting you, lovely chatting to you. Good luck, and we will get right behind you in your efforts to get a rematch with that man. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well done.
No problem. What a good lad, isn't he? He deserves, if ever a fighter deserves a rematch, it's Nick.
He also, he deserves a bit more media attention, because if you look at the body of work that he's gone into this fight with 19 wins, I think 11 of the last 14 have been by stoppages. He's in a division that doesn't get a lot of coverage, but he's a superstar, potential superstar. If he can, if they can get him a bit more media savvy and a bit more that respect, then ultimately you've got a real bona fide world champion in the making there, and he'll make a good living out of the boxing world.